Hello everyone, welcome back to the garage today. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different on the channel. Today we're going to be doing some corrosion control. What we have here is my 2013 Honda Accord. Bought this car brand new off the lot in 2013. It's now got 239,000 miles on it. It's my daughter's car now. She's a senior in high school. She drives it. It's still in great condition, but 11 New York State winters are starting to catch up to it. And what you can see here is we've got a rocker area that's pretty common on these 9th gen Accords to start rusting out. This car, I had rust cop applied to it the first year I owned it, and then I got lazy and didn't have it applied anymore. Now wishing I did, because I wouldn't be dealing with this issue right now, and we'd have a beautiful car for my daughter to drive probably through college. But what we're going to do is try to stop this from getting any worse. So what I did right now is I peeled back all the old paint here, and there's like a noise suppression stuff that they put on the factory after the e-coat, but before the top coat. I peeled all that off. I got it all back to solid metal. Treated it with Ospo, which is a rust converter, and then I painted it with actually Rust-Oleum primer, and then top coated it with silver paint. So it doesn't look awful, right? We got a small hole, but if you're standing next to the car, you can't see it. So what I'm going to do today is use a product that goes up, that will spray up into this cavity. That is, from everything I read, 1 part rust converter, 1 part coating of like a paint. We'll see. I've never used it before, so we'll see what it does. And basically try to seal up whatever rust is on the inside of here, because that's really where this came from, was from the inside out, and try to slow this down. Probably never going to stop it, but I'm hoping if I do this once a year, severely slow this down, and maybe I can limp this along for another 4 years and get my daughter through college with this car. So we're going to spray 2 areas today. I'm going to spray up through this hole and try to get all of this area here. And there's another area, because there's actually a partition wall behind here, if you will. There's another cavity I want to spray as well. And if you have a 9th gen Accord, you're going to want to spray that area too. Okay, so as I mentioned, there's a second area that we are going to want to treat on this car, and it's this inner cavity. So basically, it's on the inside of where I was showing you outside the car, but right here there's a seam, and there's a wall that goes all the way down to the pinch weld that separates this cavity from that hole I just showed you, from this cavity, which is inside here. Don't ask me what this cavity is for or whatever, but it's there. So what you want to do is take this plastic trim piece off that sits here by your seat and threshold, pull up. You'll have 3 holes, and then there's a small sticker type thing that covers that one. Pull that off too. And you're going to want to look down in there on yours and check it out. As you can see, mine's rusting inside. And the reason this rusts is because, hopefully you can see, there's holes at the bottom. Most likely used to hold the car when it's going down the assembly line, and for drainage when this gets dipped for e-coat, right? So it'll go in, that cavity will fill up with e-coat, it'll come through the top holes, and then when it drains, it's got to drain all back out. But unfortunately, these holes are exposed to the elements. And if you go underneath your car, right under the back seat, there's 2 plastic, I'll call them aerodynamic airflow panels. Just take those off your car, because if you live in the Northeast, that's harboring salt above those covers. And if you're going through the car wash and you're like, oh, I got the undercarriage wash and I'm getting all the salt off, well, you're not getting it above those covers, and it's just trapping all that salt and moisture up there and against these holes, and that's really where all the rust starts. So we're gonna go in there, we're gonna spray all this with the material I bought that I'm gonna show you in a second, and hopefully coat this to the best that we can. Yeah, it's rusty, but it's not awful in my opinion. But my opinion, you know, is tough here in New York State, because it can get pretty crusty up here. So, all right, I'm gonna go show you the product, so stick around. Okay, so this is the product we're gonna use. It's from Eastwood. It's their internal frame coating plus It comes in two colors. This is the black. There's also a green one. So I might alternate colors each year just so I know I'm getting good coverage. But basically, this is what they say. Penetrates deep under heavy rust, prevents rust from spreading, over 1,000 hours salt spray protection, and it's heat resistant up to 350. And then directions are actually pretty simple here. So basically wear gloves, shake it for 1 minute, apply the extension tube, which I'll show you in a second, put the nozzle into the fray coating all the way, start spraying, and then pull back towards where you inserted the nozzle to, and then pretty much just keep going. And then when you're done, to clean out the nozzle. So that's what we're gonna do. The kit I ordered it with this nozzle so we can get up in there. It's a good 2 feet, if not 2.5 feet right there. And then on this end, it's got a 360-degree atomizing nozzle that kind of will really turn this into an aerosol, hopefully. And I can put this all the way in there and then draw it back, put it in, draw it back, and we can get some good coverage in these cavities and hopefully seal it up and seal it up for good. This just clips onto the top, so if you pull the cap off, you have the nozzle in there. You just take the nozzle off and put this one in its place. Okay, so I've shaken my can for 1 minute. I probably did it for closer to 2. Put on my wand with the extension. I test fired it into a garbage can. The stuff comes out fast and it's runny. So to get the most coverage, I would say move pretty quick while you do it. But here we go. We're gonna start and we're gonna work right to left with these 4 holes in this cavity and give them a good spray. There we go. So just be mindful when you're getting close to the end to get your finger off and stop spraying so you don't get it all over the place. Oops, nope, that's what it looks like. We'll wipe that up after. Okay, so I feel like we've used a good deal of our can already, so when you do use this stuff, kind of go quick. As you see, it comes out pretty fast and whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the bottom cavity now. Okay, so I've sprayed both the inner and outer cavities. So that's what the inner cavity looks like right there. Looks like it coated it really, really well. It's dark in there. I've got the light on the camera and I can't pick up any what looks like uncoated rust. I might spray that spot a little bit more, but I wanna make sure I get both sides. So again, this stuff comes out fast. I'll show it to you there. I had a piece of cardboard where some dripped, and definitely got some drips up there as well. So as for what this stuff is, it looks like, I don't know, like a really watery paint, but it's got a very, very strong solvent smell to it. So definitely use in a well-ventilated area and make sure you have something on the floor. I'll have to go wipe that up and get that off the floor. But as for application, it seems to do pretty well. I think I've used about half the can, so I'm gonna go do the other side and then come back and spray this side again if I have any left. Okay, so we're back. I've sprayed all 4 cavities, the 2 on the passenger side, the 2 on the driver's side. What I wanted to do was show you an after of the inside of the cavity. So that's what the coverage looks like. It looks really good to me. Having a hard time getting the camera to focus in there, but from what I'm focusing on and seeing, this stuff really covered everything well. I don't see any remaining exposed rust anywhere. It definitely does not look like it did before. There's a piece of something that probably just fell in there. So I think we're gonna be okay. I guess, you know, in the words of Eddie Van Halen, only time will tell if this passes the test of time. And maybe in a year I'll take another video, show you what it looks like in there, and I'll probably reapply with the green product and just see what kind of coverage we get with that. And that way I can just alternate colors each year, and hopefully we can milk this car 5 more years. So it's been about 4.5 hours, and I still got my drip tray here. And I just wanted to show that this does dry to the touch. It's like almost like a really tacky paint at this point. I'm sure it'll get a little bit firmer, but I just wanted to show you that this stuff does firm up and doesn't stay a watery liquid forever. It actually turns into what looks to be like a nice coating. So keep my fingers crossed on this stuff. One final tip: wear the gloves like the directions tell you to. This is gonna be fun getting this off. So thank you for joining me in the garage today. I hope this tutorial was helpful, and it is my plan to get back with you and let you know how it held up in the spring. Maybe I can get a better camera to get down in there and see how this held up through the New York winter. So thanks for joining me in the garage today, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.